So this morning, I've been having a good old think about the plan. The plan of life, the plan of what I want to have happen somewhere in the future, a long way in the future, what the plan is. What's your plan? What is the big plan? I'm curious. Have you got one even? Or are you just tripping from day to day, trying to be happy, going with the flow, getting over stuff, getting through stuff? What's your plan? They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? It's that old adage. Is it true? I'm not sure it's true. I think some people like to go through their life with not knowing what happens. They like the element of surprise. But the trouble is those same people potentially are not happy if it doesn't go the way they want it to. So the universe needs some direction, the same as your sat-nav would. So if you get in the car and just look at the sat-nav and say, I don't know where I want to go, what happens? You just start to drive. Who knows where you'll end up? So you might end up somewhere fabulous. You might. Or you might just end up nowhere. In fact, you might not even go anywhere, because if there's no intention, no forward motion, no plan, maybe you won't go anywhere. So the best thing is to just have a loose plan. This is my opinion. Other opinions are available. Is to have a loose idea of where you're going. Because if you're really regimented, i.e. I'm going to live in Egypt and I'm going to, milk goats every day, just randomly picking something. Actually, if you don't end up in Egypt, you could end up in Bermuda and it might be nicer. Who knows? So a loose plan is better than no plan. What could you think about doing? What could your plan be? Not plan B, plan A. What could it be? And actually, if something then comes in to intercept it, would you accept it if it was better than plan A? So if plan B did arrive, i.e. you ended up somewhere different. So if you'd have asked me 3 years ago what my life plan was, I'd structured my whole life and business so that I could have what they call the laptop lifestyle. And I could work anywhere in the world. And it'd taken me 3 years to get there. So I'd started off working 3 weeks in the UK and a week somewhere else, because I was running physical live events. And then what happened is the next year I worked 2 weeks at home and 2 weeks somewhere else, anywhere in the UK or abroad. You probably spotted me in all different countries. And then year 3, I made it so I could work 3 weeks somewhere else and just be at home a week. But actually that week was just because, I had a house I was renting. And I got to the stage where when then COVID hit, my whole business was online, which I'm of course very grateful for the insight, the plan. So the plan was always that. And it was originally because I was moving to Scotland. Did I move to Scotland? No. And in fact, somebody asked me last week, what happened to Scotland? Well, Scotland didn't happen. I now live in Norfolk. My whole business is online and I now live in Norfolk. So my original plan is not the plan I have now, because also my plan was of a single person that I could then travel all over the world, having amazing experiences. And what I also adapted my plan for is because I realised I didn't really want that. As much as it was lovely, I was a bit lonely. I realised there's no point in having mega success in business, life, having all that freedom and having no one to share it with. So I went off and found, soon to be, less than 3 weeks, my wife to be. And actually the plan changed. So I think the trick is to have a vague idea, have a plan, or have a nice thing that you want definitely, and then be flexible to what shows up, because what shows up sometimes, most times, is what the universe has planned for you. And it has a much better plan than you could ever imagine. And sometimes the things that are happening to you don't seem very nice, but they are always part of the master plan. A lot of us, and I asked a question on my own Facebook last night, is, has the last 18 months changed you? And if so, for the better. And it was very interesting to read some of the responses, because actually sometimes that 18-month period could have been really painful and you might still be in it, but in a week's time, it might all feel differently. So just know that change is painful while it's going on, but it's necessary. A bit like the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into a butterfly. So if you're still going through change, keep going. If you're still trying to get to a destination, or you're still on a journey, or you're still trying to get to meet your plan, keep going, because it always gets better, doesn't it? Think about it. And whatever happens, you'll definitely cope. Have a great week. See you Friday for the live carpool.